to score, led by two guys in double figures. Noah Green, a monster first half for him, as he has 15 points off of 7 makes from two-point range. He was also 1 for 1 from the charity stripe there in that first quarter of play. 10 points for Hunter Sanford as well, with 8 of those 10 coming in the first quarter of action. From there, Michael Sizemore starts. He gets 2 baskets from two-point range in that second quarter for his 4 at the half. Peyton Walker has 8 all in the first quarter of play from around the basket. Jackson Byrne, a couple of point-blank range layups, little bunnies around the rim, as he's got 4 here at the break. Bryce Farmer, Nick Mars, Camden Zink, and Easton Bishop all play off the bench and are able to tally in the first 16 minutes. Farmer with 2 points in the second quarter. Mars with a basket in each period from two-point range. Camden Zink, 2 points off of a made basket in that second quarter. And Easton Bishop, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe in that second quarter for his lone point. So the Senators, great balance. 2 guys already in double figures. Senators 2 of 3 from the charity stripe, with Easton going 1 of 2. And again, Noah 1 for 1 in that first quarter of play. So 2 of 3 from the free throw line for 67%. Senators with just 4 turnovers, 2 in each period in the first half of play. They jumped out to an 11-0 start, and then it just swelled and ballooned and got out of control from there. They led it 31-5 after the first quarter. Then they outscored the Eagles of Martinsville Tabernacle Christian 19-7 in that second period, and that takes us to our advantage here at the half. 50-12 on the scoreboard. We'll step aside. We'll take another quick break and get in another sponsor, and we'll come back. Joe will give you a rundown of the shooting statistics and rebounding numbers from this first half of action today. You're listening to the Senators in a matinee performance here in the Springs Valley Holiday Tourney on your leader for Kentuckiana sports coverage, 97.9 FM and 1220 on the AM dial.
Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Once again inside the gymnasium here at Springs Valley High School. Game 2 of pool play today. Senators lead at 50-12 at the halftime break over the Eagles of Martinsville Tabernacle Christian. Joe has those first half scoring statistics as far as the overall shooting and rebounding numbers. Joe.
For the Senators, from two-point range, they were 24 of 42 at 57%. From three-point range, they were 0 of 2. For Martinsville, overall, the Senators were 24 of 49 from the floor at 54%. For Martinsville, from two-point range, they were 3 of 8 at 37%. Three-point range, they were 2 of 18 at 11%. And overall, they were 5 of 26 for 19% from the floor. Rebounding, the Senators had 15 offensive rebounds, 15 defensive rebounds for a total of 30. Martinsville had 1 offensive board, 6 defensive boards for a total of 7. So all the things that we're supposed to do in this game, we're doing.
We're going to step aside, take another quick break, hear a word from Ace Hardware of Salem. We'll come back and get the second half of action started. Senators and Eagles, 50-12 on the scoreboard. Senators out in front. Back with third quarter action right after this.
Is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I like to buy name brands.
Brendan stopped by for Valspar Paint last weekend. This time, I helped him pick out a new Weber grill and Craftsman pliers. Scott's, Toro, DeWalt. We have them too, along with other big names.
Ace is the place that carries all the best brands. Carries in store, not in our arms.
At Ace Hardware of Salem, you can save on the best brands like Carhartt and New Balance. Need gift ideas? Check out daily posts at facebook.com/Ace Hardware of Salem.
Back as we begin the third quarter of play. Martinsville has it to start the period. Very patient offensively, Joe. Haven't seen them jack up a three-point three-pointer yet. Not the patience we saw out of them early, though, in that first half.
They're probably going to take their time here and really look for a good shot and work on their offense.
Take the air out of the ball just a little bit here. Just over a half-minute gone by in this third quarter of play. Again, Senators leading at 50-12 after an explosive first half offensively, where we were able to see 9 Senators get into the scoring column. In that first 16 minutes, 3 ball by Roll won't go. Strong defensive rebound to start the period for Hunter Sanford as we get a little smile from him as they tried to feed him rather. Wasn't fed as it was turned over. Turnover number 5 for West Washington. And a nice feed, but a swat by Noah Green, and it's saved in. Michael with it in transition. Leaves it off for Byrne, and Burns got his 3rd basket of the day, Joe. Nice swat in transition. No good hustle getting back defensively by Noah.
Noah really did well on that. He swatted it with his right hand. As the ball came down to the floor, he was able to take his left hand and swat it back behind him.
Number 30, Caleb Jones, answers with a big 3. 52-15 underneath. Byrne had it partially blocked by Roll, and coming out of there with the rebound is Jones after the big 3-point make on the last trip. He'll look to give it up to Seasting now. Hunter hedges out off the little dribble handoff. They go right back, though, to Jones on the wing. Ball comes around the perimeter to Myers. Dribble handoff now to Roll. Little 4-out, 1-in action. And again, a little bit of patience by the Eagles. Hunter's going to come out and extend pressure, though. Try to poke it away from Jones as they get it back in the hands of the freshman, Seasting. Seasting not very big, just 5'5", but he packs a punch from the perimeter, not afraid to let it fly. Although he struggled, he'll let one fly here. This one in and out, no good. Michael with a strong defensive rebound. Senators in transition in the front court quickly. Left side, Green has it, stops, looks to give it up. Back out to Sizemore, now around to Walker. We'll get a flex cut, and they'll feed Green. Turn around, pump fake, gives it off to Hunter. He splits 3 guys, can't get the basket. Mike Benham with the call. But we'll have an Eagles foul as this one will go on 24. Martin Myers on the reach-in. First foul of the half for either club, and his first of the afternoon as Hunter goes to the free throw line, Joe, and on the year coming in 24 of 31 for 77% as he misses that one.
I thought that was on the floor, about 2 hops from the basket. I really wasn't expecting Hunter to go. Got a little bit of the NBA there, continuation.
Allen Iverson continuation where you take 3 or 4 dribbles after the foul and can still shoot it and count the basket. NBA rules apply here as he knocks down the second attempt after missing the first. So make it 53-15, 2.5 gone by here in this third quarter of play. Eagles of Martinsville Tabernacle Christian searching for their 3rd straight win. Again, they started out 0-4 as a member of the Central Indiana Christian Conference. And we'll have an offensive player control foul. I believe they're going to tag Martin Myers for this one. They will. That's his 2nd and team's 2nd of the half. Senators yet to commit a personal. Rolling up on 5 minutes to play here in the third. Back to the 2-3 zone for the Eagles. Senators go into their little 1-3-1 offense. Green patrols the baseline. He gets it from Hunter. He goes up strong and give Noah 17 points now on the afternoon as he continues to flourish against this Eagles squad. 55-15, Joe.
Boy, when we break Hunter into the middle of the lane there, about 8 feet from the basket, Noah's just awesome at working that baseline to get in there for an easy layup.
Michael gets a poke away, a steal, and goes coast to coast for his 6th point of the afternoon. And the Senators continue to flex their muscle. Another steal, pickpocket this time by Hunter. He goes up, acrobatic scoop shot will go. And Hunter with 3 quick ones to start the half. He's got 13. 59-15. We'll see a bunch of players. It'll be a 5-for-5 exchange in the next dead ball for Coach Smith's ball club as he starts to rest some of these seniors. We'll see Easton Bishop check back in along with Bryce Farmer, Camden Zink, Nick Mars, and Dakota Smith, the 6-foot sophomore, will see his first minutes of the afternoon. Mikey Nichols and Caden Abels also dressing today as the Senators get another steal. And it's going to be a timeout. Coach Smith had Mike Benham blow the whistle before we could get the breakaway, and Noah Green just grins and shakes his head. Mike Benham gets a laugh out of it as well, knowing that Noah missed out on a fast break opportunity as Coach Smith.
Jackson.
He burns the 30-second timeout. Jackson wasn't a fan of it either. We'll step aside. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification, and we'll be back with third quarter action.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Senators out of the 30-second timeout. Coach Smith getting a laugh out of it. He turns around and has a laugh with Jeff Byrne down doing the book today for the Senators squad. But he called that timeout so that he didn't, and now he's going to go down and make amends with with Jackson and Noah both.
Jackson probably told him he wants 2 Subways here in the break.
He's going to owe him during the break somewhere to eat. Easton has it, nearly throws it away, saved by Farmer, and Farmer will be fouled as Seasting went after the loose ball. He'll pick up his second personal, team's third. So on the floor right now, 6'2" senior Bryce Farmer. Out there with 5'7" junior Cam Zink, 6' sophomore Dakota Smith, 6'4" freshman Easton Bishop, and 6'3" junior big man Nick Mars.
Hey, Easton pretty active here today. That play right there, he shot the ball on one side of the lane at the block, missed the shot, and out-hustled everybody to the other side of the lane and got the rebound. There he is in the corner with a shot.
Then he shows the smooth stroke from that right baseline deep, about a 12, 15-foot jumper. Will go for Bishop, his first field goal of the day, give him 3, and it's 61-15. Senators continue to put on the offensive and defensive clinic. Farmer with a strong defensive rebound. He'll bring it up himself into the front court. Leave it off now right side on the wing to Mars. They'll feed down low, and Bishop will be hammered by Roll before he can make the turn of the shoulder and work his way toward the basket. Roll picks up his second personal of the afternoon. Team foul number 4. Senators yet to commit a personal. Now we'll see Caden Abels check in, a 5'6" sophomore, and Dakota Smith will check out, and he'll get some whiteboard instruction from Coach Smith. So the only one we have not seen to this juncture is Mikey Nichols.
Nick Mars there with a nice basket on the inbound play.
Mars has got 6 on the afternoon off the inbounds play. 63-15. Another shot missed from the perimeter. This one by Jones. Zink comes out of there with it. He'll slow things up behind the back, wait for traffic to clear, and go to Abels in the front court. He leaves it on the baseline, and Bishop feeds down low. Probably could have got a turnaround jumper wide open. Instead, tried to be unselfish with it and give it off to the junior Mars, and he's fouled on the floor. Team foul number 5. This one's going to go on Carter Roll, his second consecutive personal. As Dakota Smith continues to get some whiteboard instruction offensively from Coach Smith. We'll see if he hops back into the lineup here in a little bit, maybe for Bryce or for Zink. Zink sends it back out top now. Top of the key to Farmer. They go mid-post. Mars, little flip, one-handed pass to Bishop. Offensive rebound by 5'7" Cam Zink. Senators showing some hustle on the offensive glass. 2.5 to play in the quarter. Again, 63-15.
They've got to see Easton in there. He's flashing across that lane down underneath. We've got to find him.
Farmer loses it on the crossover. Little self-inflicted wound, but then the Eagles give it right back off the travel by Martin Myers. Turnover number 4 of the half, now 12 in the game against the Eagles. Senators have committed 6 turnovers at this point in the ball game. Third period of play, 2:16 to go. 63-15. Misty Jones again alongside of Joe Walker. Craig Akers on stats and doing our live stream feed, WW Senator Radio, on our Facebook or Twitter page. You can find the link there as Bishop tried to get a reverse layup. It wouldn't go, but Mars cleans up the offensive glass, and he's got 8. He matches his first half total with 4 here already in the third quarter.
Easton's real active today. The only thing I want to take away right there from him
Steal,
is when he caught
breakaway, and Mars gets a basket again, Joe. 10 now.
When he caught that ball underneath the basket there, he was on the block, and he put it down to dribble it. If he'd have kept the ball up high, he'd have had a lot better luck at it.
Another shot missed from beyond the arc. This one by Roll. He'll get it back off the offensive rebound by Jones, and then he'll get the second chance to go. So Roll's got his first basket finally of the afternoon. They live and die truly by the 3. That's mostly what they've shot here today. 67-18, coming up on a minute to play. Mars, this time jumper in and out, no good, but Mars a career high already. His career high was 8 against Medora earlier in the season as we get another 3 from Roll. 6 points in the game for him, and it's 67-21. But again, Joe, he had 8 against Medora, a varsity career high for Nick Mars, and he surpassed that here today against Martinsville Tabernacle Christian with 10 already as he takes another jumper. This one won't go from the right elbow, and in action here in the front court off the break. The Eagles will give it off to Jones. He'll miss a 3, and it's just a 3-point exhibition. Caden Abels, nice feed in the front court. Bishop holds up, and I tell you what, that's pretty unselfish out of a freshman.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't want to turn and go up with it.
If he'd have turned, no one was home.
I think Coach Smith kind of directed him when he seen the ball come down the floor. He was there close to him. I think he told him to kick it out.
25 seconds to play. He directs traffic with these young guys. You're looking at the future of Senator basketball, except for Farmer, who's the lone senior. Bishop has it on the baseline, steps through a double team, misses it. Mars was fighting for a rebound, and he'll be fouled by Caleb Jones. This will be team foul number 6 against the Eagles. And for Jones, I believe his second of the day with 13.7. Dakota Smith will check back in. Bishop will get a break. Well-deserved breather. Check that. That'll be Caleb Jones's third personal. Zink to inbound. Stack formation, ball side. Abels will break. He'll go to the corner. He thought about 3, and he'll pull it out. 12, 11, 10. Time winding down here in the third. 8, 7. Little crossover. Abels goes to Smith. Smith, a pump fake. Could have went up with it. Instead kicks out to Zink for the wide open 3. Unselfish play even by Smith as he gave up a wide open layup. Joe, as time expires, and kicks out to a wide open Cam Zink, who has 5 now on the afternoon. We'll see Mikey Nichols after the quarter break, as well as Bishop, who will check back in. And after the third quarter of play, the Senators put up 20 more points from the half. They lead at 70-21. We'll come back with fourth quarter action right after this.
I'm here at John Jones GM City in Salem, Indiana, and I'm talking with sales manager Troy C.
It's the season for giving, so why not give you and your family a very special gift for 2016? A nicer, newer car. John Jones GM City in Salem, Indiana. We're going to make that fun and easy. Visit us today, and you can drive a brand new 2017 Silverado for only $24,899. If you want an SUV with hot looks and great gas mileage, treat yourself to a brand new 2016 Buick Encore for just $19,999. Rates as low as 0% APR, hundreds of pre-owned vehicles, and local trade-ins, many priced below $5,000. Make this your December to remember. Visit us today at 1450 South Highway 60 in Salem, Indiana. Call 1-800-I-SELL-GM or visit us online anytime at johnjonesautogroup.com.
John Jones GM City. You see so many because they paid so little.
Back to begin the fourth and final quarter of regulation from Springs Valley High School. Senators up 70-21 after 3, Joe, and the hot shooting continued for the Senators there in that third quarter.
Yeah, from the floor or from two-point range, we were 32 of 57 at 56%. Overall, we're 33 of 60 at 55%.
Senators really cranking out some high numbers percentage-wise overall in the game from both two-point range. Again, really flexing that option of going to the low block and getting easy layups against a much smaller lineup from Martinsville Tabernacle Christian. We have a foul out of the gate here in this fourth quarter. Senators got it to start the period. Fourth foul on Carter Roll, team foul number 7. Senators still committed a personal, but it sends the 6'4" big man, Easton Bishop, back to the line. Hits both of them, and now Easton on the day, Joe, with 5, a career high for him at the varsity level.
I'm trying to find Angie here. I don't see her. She's missing this show.
Sounds like somebody else I know last year who missed a big outing by Peyton Walker.
Yeah.
Basket at the other end. Roll with the basket to answer for the Eagles. 2-point field goal will go for him. He's got 8 now in the contest, and it's 72-23. Just over 45 seconds gone by here in the period. Fourth quarter opens with Abels, Mikey Nichols, Easton Bishop, Dakota Smith, and Cam Zink. Again, looking at the future of Senator basketball over the next year or two, a talented, very deep 8th grade class coming up next year, which will be some explosive freshmen that will play in that group. But you're seeing a core of the varsity guys for next year.
Yeah, really looking good. You know, Mikey comes in here. He's just gotten in here a little bit ago. Caden always plays well. Caden's a good ball handler, can shoot the ball well from outside, and Cam's getting some real quality minutes today that he needs to get.
We'll step aside and take another break. Martinsville will blow a full timeout. 72-23, your score. Fourth quarter action will continue right after the break.
rehabilitation. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about MetaView, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
Back out of the timeout by the Eagles as Kenny Roll wanted to get something set up here. See if his team can convert on the offensive end. They go into their little weave, 4-man out, 1-man in set. Little screen through the high post. 3-point shot won't go for Jones. Good look, though, out of the timeout. As the Senators go back to work, Mikey Nichols, nice pump fake with the hesitation. Gives it off high post to Bishop. Kick out to Abels. He'll dribble drive and leave it off now again to Nichols on that right wing. Minute and a half gone by here in this fourth quarter of play. Senators in control of this one, 72-23. Bishop has it high post, nearly stolen away. Abels will get it back. He'll try to cross over, but he made the Cardinals send there a little mistake offensively, Joe. When you go to cross over, unless you're a really talented guy at the college or NBA level, you always want to make that crossover, pulling that ball away from the defender, and he tried to do it right into the leg of an Eagle defender.
You don't want to get caught up too much and too much dribbling either in one spot, because as he was dribbling there, they were collapsing and they were just about ready to trap him.
Mikey Nichols gets his first points of the day, a big 3-point make from the wing, and then nice answer at the other end by Martin Myers for the Eagles, his first point or points of the afternoon. Make it now 75-26. Rolling up on 5.5 to play in regulation. Smith tried to no-look feed to Zink. Ball on the floor, and it'll go as a turnover as we lose possession, alternating possession in favor of Martinsville Tabernacle Christian at the 5:43 mark.
It's been a long time since I went this far down my score sheet, filling in score box.
And everybody but Dakota Smith and Caden Abels have scored here today, so we'll see if those two can get into the scoring column. Smith had a chance toward the end of the quarter before kicking it out to an open Cam Zink unselfishly for that 3 to end the third period. And Abels has been into the game for a while, but he's been more of a facilitator instead of looking to score. 3-pointer by Roll on the way is good. The Eagles starting to heat up a little bit. That's 3 makes for Roll from beyond the arc. Give him 11 on the afternoon, Joe, but too little too late, 75-29. They'll bring that energy with a little bit of a trap, force a turnover, 4th of the half, 8th of the game for West Washington, and to the other end, layup is missed by Baker, and it'll go out of bounds. Last touch by the Eagles, and Coach Smith now will burn a full timeout.
As he get a little sloppy.
He wants to talk to his young guys and make sure they know what they're doing on the offensive end. So 5:06 to play in regulation. Senators lead at 75-29. We'll step aside, take another break here from another sponsor, and we'll come back with more Senator basketball right after this.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Back out of the timeout here, 4th quarter action, 5:06 to play in regulation. Senators have this one all but in the ice box, 75-29. He's throwing a little Chick Hearn reference a la the Los Angeles Lakers of old, Joe. But the Senators getting a lot out of some young guys here, getting some scoring and a confidence boost as we continue to try to build that depth going into the second half of the season.
Yeah, we've got to have that. Plus, we're resting players right now for this second game against Valley.
Going to need those fresh legs. Dakota Smith misses a three from the left corner, and in transition, him and Nichols will try to get back. Layup missed again. Another one by Baker at point-blank range. Can't get it to go off the glass. And Zink will control. Gives it off to Nichols. Splits two guys. Nice feed underneath and a wide-open layup. And there's the first basket of the day for Dakota Smith, the 6-foot sophomore. So Abel's the only Senator to not tally at this point in the ball game, and a near steal by Nichols. So young guys turning on the heat out of the timeout by Coach Smith.
Hey, they're looking really good. I mean, he got a little bit sloppy there. When the pace kind of picks up and one of them steals the ball, then everything kind of gets a little bit crazy. But right there after the set, we set the ball up and got it into Dakota. It was a real nice play.
Little dribble weave out front. Again, a little 4-out, 1-in dribble drive look. Seasting up over the outreached arms of 6'4" freshman Easton Bishop. And Seasting with his second field goal of the day. Senators have held that dude in check, averaging 17.5 per game on the season. He's got just his 5th point of the afternoon. Bishop feeds in the corner. Nichols not shy. He pulls the trigger again from downtown. Can't get it to go, and Seasting controls the rebound. He'll push quickly in transition. Brings it now right wing. 3 ball on the way for Roll. In and out, no good. Rebound off to Baker. Kicks back out to Roll. Step back 3 again against Nichols. Off the backboard, won't go. Rebound controlled by Dakota Smith and company. Senators go back to work. They bring it in the front court. Abels leaves it off for Zink. Now to Bishop. High post. Good feed to Nichols, who was cutting. And he had a layup opportunity, but tried to leave it off.
To look over
and
Dakota.
I'm impressed. Sometimes, young guys get their first minutes or first taste of a lot of action at the varsity level. Maybe guys that play a lot of JV minutes, which some of these guys do. Abels misses the three-pointer, but Joe, you see him try to come in and get some of that spotlight notoriety, but these guys, all about the unselfish play. Smith has it in the corner. Dangerous skip pass back out to Nichols. Was bumped a little, no call. Back to Abels. Abels, again, the only Senator to not score at this point. Tried to thread it between 4 legs of Eagles defenders. Had the ball kicked. 3:07 to play. 77-31. We're going to see Jones check out. We're going to see number 15, Alvaro Barrientos Gonzalez, check in. They call him Big Al, according to the coaching staff. Talked to them a little bit before the game today. And Big Al checks in for the Eagles for his first minutes of the day. Again, primarily going 5 deep. They played a couple of guys now off the bench, but sparingly. We'll have a foul on the Eagles. This one will go on Seasting. That'll be his 3rd. This will be team foul number 8 with 2:57 to go. Senators will go back to the free throw line. On the year, West Washington, 70% team from the arc, and Bishop goes back to the charity stripe once more and comes up short on the front end of the bonus, Joe.
That poor kid, he had got good position and got a rebound, come down and tripped, and then fell back. And in frustration, he just laid back on the floor, and I think he about knocked himself out.
6 turnover.
Hit his head hard.
6 turnover for the Eagles, 14th of the game. 6-1 of this half, I should say, as Zink nearly has it poked away and does. The freshman Seasting comes out of there with it. Senators with their 9th turnover now of the afternoon, 5th of this half. Seasting in control, looks to dribble drive. Nice fake, scoop shot off the glass is good. Little flashiness in the open court by Seasting. He's got 7 on the afternoon, and it's 77-33. 44-point advantage for West Washington. They've been in control from the start. It was an 11-0 run to begin the game, and they never looked back. Trying to go wire to wire here in their first game of pool play. Martinsville, Tabernacle Christian, West Washington, and Springs Valley making up Pool A. Pool B includes Paoli and Shoals, which we watched in Game 1. Paoli won that one going away 85-26. Lanesville, the other team in Pool B, Joe.
Would they play next?
Next against Paoli.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Another personal. This will be team foul number 9 against the Eagles. And this one will go on Caleb Jones, his 4th, and that'll send Cam Zink to the line. The 5'7" junior guard at 2.5 points per game is a perfect 8 for 8 from the free throw line coming into this tournament. He hits the first one, so make him 9 of 9. Check that, 10 for 10 as he knocks them both down. He's got 7 on the afternoon. Good floor game for him at both ends. 79-33 as the center. And we'll have a travel. It'll be a turnover, the 7th of the half, now 15th of the game for the Eagles of Martinsville Tabernacle Christian. A lot of career highs here today. Cam Zink's career high came against Eastern in their first meeting of this season. And in their first game against Eastern, he had 7 points, which was a varsity career high. So him and Mars both with career days here in this primarily 8-man rotation for West Washington, though we've seen a lot more. We'll have a foul over the back. This one going to be on Dakota Smith, an over the back rebounding foul, his first personal. And believe it or not, Joe, with 1:50 to play, our first foul of the second half. Pretty cleanly played ball game at the defensive end.
And that was just the frustration. Dakota felt like he had a good look at that, and he missed it, kind of rimmed out, and he went back up and chopped him over the head.
Rolling up on 1.5 to go. Seasting has it out front between the legs. A little flashy dribble. Kind of a mirror image of a Caden Abels. Pretty shifty with the ball in his hand. Martin Myers gets a little floater to go. Give him 5 all in this fourth quarter. He turns around and shrugs the shoulders there as he looks at his coaching staff. Easton misses 1 point blank range, and Myers comes out of there with the board after the score on the last trip down, as the Lanesville Eagles have made their way into the gymnasium here. Little late arrival. They play next, minute 13 on the clock, cutting it close, Joe.
Yeah, we haven't got that blowing snow they've been talking about, have we? Slowing them down.
I don't think so, but that's a pretty good haul from Lanesville. Senators have it in the half court. 65 seconds to play. Nichols has it almost poked away from Alvaro. And Dakota Smith goes back to work, misses a jumper. Nice offensive rebound. Put back won't go for Easton as he misses another one right at the rim. Little finger roll won't go for Zink, but Easton with another offensive rebound, Joe. He's tearing it up on the glass. And Bishop with his second field goal of the day, give him 7. So that's 3 guys with career highs at the varsity level. And Caleb Jones answers with his 3rd triple of the day. He's into double figures with 11.
Easton's kind of had his come-of-age game right there. There's another bucket by Eastern. Nice pass, Easton. Nice pass from Cam.
Bishop filling it up. He's got 9 now on the day. 83-38. Best offensive production of the season thus far for this Senator team, and they'll dribble the air out of this one. 10 seconds to go as Abels is going to walk it up, and he's going to be the only Senator that does not get into the scoring column. But the Senators, in dominating fashion, going to win this one running away 83-38 as they clip the wings of this Eagles squad out of Martinsville Tabernacle Christian. And that will be a 1-0 start pull play for the Senators, who will be back in action again, the nightcap in prime time. And you got to thank O'Brien, Selby, and company over there watching at the tunnel. They got an eye full of this Senator squad. The thing is, they didn't get to see a lot out of the starters in some of our offensive sets because we were able to play so many with the big lead.
Yeah, we didn't play. Probably the starters probably didn't play, I'm going to say 12 minutes, any of them today in this first game. I don't think there was a combination anybody put 12 minutes of solid play in.
Eagles
bouncing around in and out. When they were in, they weren't in long, they were back out.
Eagles have their best quarter performance, 17 in that final quarter, but it was far too little too late as they outscored the Senators 17-13 in that final period, but it's all West Washington going away. 83-38. We'll take a break. Come back. We'll begin our post-game show. Today's Senator post-game show brought to you, as always, by Ace Hardware in Salem. Be sure to stop in and check out their last-minute December bargains of the month. They've got some great deals on some clearance Christmas items. Be sure to stop in and check out the good folks at Ace Hardware of Salem. We'll come back and begin our post-game coverage here from the Hawks Nest. Senators victorious in their first game of pool play. Again, 83-38 the final. Back with our post-game in just a moment.
Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Head on down to Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem and get your new or used Ford, Ram, Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep. Stop in the new office at 207 South Main Street right here in Salem for the best deals in the Kentuckiana area. See Steve, Travis, or Neil and give them an idea of what you're looking for. Whether it's new or used, the guys at Eddie Gilstrap Motors will work hard to put you in the ride of your life. Check out the new Ford and Ram trucks as well as their new crossovers and SUVs. Or if new is not in your budget, the no-pressure guys at Eddie Gilstrap Motors will help you find a certified pre-owned vehicle. Stop in today at Eddie Gilstrap Motors for the best deals in the Kentuckiana area. Call today at 812-883-3481 or check them out online at eddiegilstrapmotors.com. Don't forget the body shop and come see the all-new Detail Center and speak to Brian Fisher about what he can do for all your detailing needs.
Back to begin our post-game show activities here from the Hawks Nest in French Lick. Senators win it running away, coast-to-coast finish for them. 83-38 the final over Martinsville Tabernacle Christian. Joe, they jumped out to that 11-0 edge and just never looked back. Got great offensive efficiency around the rim, high percentage looks. Didn't have to shoot a bunch of threes. You made that statement there early on. Might be a game where we don't have to shoot any, and that was the case.
Didn't have to shoot him, didn't need to shoot him. You know, that was a game where we could go inside and control it with our size, and that's what we should do. And that makes me feel good by sitting up here and watching them play, and not only coaching, instilling in them, here's what we should do against this team, but I think even themselves, they decided, you know, hey, we're bigger, we're going to force it inside, we're going to work it in, we're going to wait for the easy shots, take the open looks, and dominate the game from underneath.
We'll be joined now by victorious Senator head coach Sean Smith as he's made his way out from the locker room. Coach, I tell you what, a pretty impressive outing for your club today. You jumped out 11-0, hopped all over that Eagle squad, that 1-3-1, that length really causing some fits, and then you get so many good looks around the rim, high percentage shots. You get guys like Noah, Peyton, and Hunter going early, and that's big for them because some of those guys have struggled coming out of the gate in some of our previous outings.
Yeah, we just talked about, we just wanted to come out and get control early, and that was really what our starter's job was to do, was to get control of the game early, and then by pounding the ball inside, you know, we knew we had a huge size advantage, and there's no sense of going out there and shooting threes when you could get layups and get those opportunities to score easy shots. And let's not make the game any more difficult than we have to. And you know, the guys bought into that. They've done a good job of that. It's just like we talked about. It's about understanding who we are and what our strengths are. And it's nice to be able to knock down threes, but let's not make that our primary attack when there's opportunities to get layups and much easier shots, and guys did a good job with that today.
Yeah, you didn't have to shoot a lot from beyond the arc because you guys were absolutely filling it up from around the basket. In the paint, you took advantage. That was one of the keys to victory we had in the pregame. We talked about it. Use that size advantage, pound that post, and I felt like we finally did that with consistency early on. It paid off, like I said, getting some of our bigs involved early, and then defensively, it was a matter of playing with that length and athleticism, but doing it in a smart manner, Coach, something we've struggled with. Some of our decision-making perhaps not so good in some of our first games, getting guys in foul trouble. If you look at the scorebook, what an impressive stat. They do not shoot a single free throw all afternoon.
Yeah, we did a good job keeping our hands off people, and you know, and some of that was their philosophy, or I guess their approach. They were very three-point oriented. So, you know, when teams tend to shoot, you know, from the perimeter all the time, they don't get to the foul line a lot because they're not challenging your defense and, putting pressure on you off penetration or post-ups or rebounds and that sort of thing. So, that was good to see, but it's something we still have to continue to improve upon. We've got to do a better job, with that. And it was a step in the right direction, but we still got a lot of work to do.
And what's probably best about this game, Coach, it was a runaway, so you get a lot of young guys in early and often. Easton Bishop, what an outstanding showcase for him today and a big confidence boost as he tried to get that shot in the arm of some of the young players. You tried to continue to develop not only confidence, but much needed depth as we roll toward the turn of the calendar. And you get that Easton Bishop, a varsity career high, 9 points. Cam Zink, a career high, 7 points. Nick Mars with 10. And then other young guys get in. So, again, not just a boost of confidence, but added depth that we may need down the road.
Yeah, Easton's really been coming along. He had a really nice JV holiday tournament. I thought he played real well that night in both games, and he's come along. He's got to get stronger and that sort of thing. But he did a nice job today, and I thought played some good minutes, and that's good for him to get a little taste of it, and as is all the younger guys. So that was a good game for them to get some serious up and down action on a varsity court or in a varsity setting.
Coach, interesting setup here because now for the first time, usually we're used to playing one game, coming back and playing that second game of pool play the next morning. This time around, though, you've got 2 in 1 day with a game in between. How do you treat the short break?
Well, we're going to go get something light to eat here and come back and, it's got to lace them up and go play again. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's the way it's set up, and it's going to come down to mental toughness and execution. So we'll find out what we have. The good thing about that game is we were able to rest our starters pretty much the whole second half. I mean, we played them a little bit there at the beginning. Sure. just to regain control, make sure we were all on the same page, and but overall they didn't play a whole lot of minutes, so they were able to rest, and I think they'll be good to go as far as that goes. But yeah, just got to turn around and come ready to play.
Eat something light on that weary stomach of yours after being sick, and we'll talk to you prior to the tip of the Valley game.
All right, thank you.
While we're getting one of our players of the afternoon settled in here to talk with us on the post game, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Senator Basketball here today in the 2016 Springs Valley Holiday Tournament.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
And back here again to the Hawks Nest in French Lick. We're joined now by one of our co-players of the afternoon, Mr. Noah Green, the silent assassin, the ninja himself, chips in a team high and game high 17 points, one of 3 players in double figures for the Senator squad. Noah, you were able to get going early. Just tell us about the mindset coming out of the Christmas break and what the focus was for you guys early today.
Our goal is just to come out strong and just show what we've been working on after the holiday tourney, and just wanted to come out and jump on them and control the game.
Feel like perhaps you guys had something to prove after the letdown against Borden?
Oh, yeah.
And today you're certainly able to do that. You come out monster first quarter. How about that? 31 points as a team, and you have a big 11-point first quarter. But it was nice to see some of your teammates. You guys very unselfish around the basket. He was able to also get Peyton and Hunter going, and they've struggled some in the first quarter of ball games.
Yeah, it's great to get everybody going in the beginning, and then it just carries over to the other quarters.
Talk about what it means to develop depth. I talked about it a little bit with Coach Smith. For you guys to be able to develop some of these young guys and bring them along, some of these guys like Easton Bishop, for example, that hasn't got to play a lot of varsity basketball. He comes in a career high for him today at the varsity level, 9 points. What's that mean to you seniors to have that kind of reinforcements, building confidence and strength going toward the turn of the calendar?
Oh, it's great to have younger kids come up and be able to play with us. I mean, it just gives us depth. As you can see, in the beginning, we didn't have many players that could come up and play, and now they're coming around and being able to give minutes for us.
Got a short turnaround, though, here. You're going to get you something light to eat on the stomach. You have to come right back, and after this Lanesville Paoli game, face the Springs Valley Blackhawks. A good conference preview of the regular season meeting in a couple of weeks over at the Friendly Confines. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on this Springs Valley team.
Oh, they're a good team from what I've heard. I've seen they've beat some good teams in the conference, and it's going to be a really good game.
enjoy your short break and enjoy the light lunch, and we'll look forward to seeing you back in action. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Noah Green, one of our co-players of the day, as we'll let him slide out. And if you want to sit down, you can just sit right down. We'll have you on. You go ahead. You've already said it now, so now you have to. We'll get Michael Sizemore. He comes over and drops a $20 bill in the lap of Noah Green. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Hunter. And now Michael wants to get on. Michael, a quiet day for him offensively, just 6 points on the afternoon. But, Michael, you did so much more in facilitating and passing the rock around. A lot of assists for you today. But it was nice to see some of the bigs get going early.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to do. You know, we're about getting it inside, so with the talent we got inside, we want to get it to them, and we did a good job of that today.
And also, I thought it was important early on, not so much your offensive efficiency, but the defensive efficiency. This is a rare sighting for us. We're used to worrying about getting guys in foul trouble. We didn't send a single Eagle to the free throw line in that first game here today. And defensively, the smartness, the intelligence showed in that 1-3-1. I was very impressed with the length and stuff you guys had in that 1-3-1 defense.
Yeah, we're just trying it out. We got good length. We feel like we can get deflections and steals and get out and run with it. So, yeah, it's not our primary, but we like it a lot.
It's kind of hard whenever you got a guy with 6'5" length of Hunter Sanford out there pressuring the ball, forcing to one side. The trap gets on, and it kind of puts you kind of in the catbird seat, sitting in the back of that zone, keeps you out of foul trouble a little bit, and you can come up with some of the deflections and offensive rebounds or defensive rebounds.
Yeah, Hunter does a good job up there, you know, being long, and then our middle guys and wing guys also do a great job. And, you know, I can get the rebound down there and we can get going, so I like it, but, you know, we do a good job of it.
Senator Basketball sharing the love as your teammate there, Hunter Sanford, encourages you on.
He wants to talk to.
He wants to talk to you. He wants to get a selfie with you. That's nice, Hunter. That's really nice of you. I hope you're going to buy his lunch, though, for giving so many assists. He says no.
He says
well,
yes.
Michael, congratulations on the big win today. Look forward to seeing you guys against the Blackhawks a little bit later on.
Should be fun.
Michael Sizemore also joining us here on our Senator post-game show. Let's run down the scoring for both of these clubs. First for the Martinsville Tabernacle Christian Eagles. They fall now to 2-5 on the year. They had lost their first four, won 2 in a row coming into the tournament, and then fall hard here today back to reality, facing this long athletic lineup from West Washington. They get 2 guys in double figures, Carter Roll, Caleb Jones, with 11 points apiece. Then Job Seasting, the hot shooter from beyond the arc, again came in shooting 61% from downtown, just 7 points on the day, just 1 make from three-point range. Senators do a great job on closing out on a lot of his shots and making them contested tough shots for him to take. Martin Myers chips in with 5 all in that fourth quarter of play, and Jason Baker chips in 4 as well. Andrew Kloss and Alvaro Barrientos Gonzalez play off the bench for the Eagles, but do not tally in the loss. They did not shoot a single free throw, folks, in the game. Senators doing a great job on the defensive end, keeping those hands off. We'll need to have that same effort against a more physically athletic and stronger Springs Valley lineup later on this evening. 15 turnovers in the game for Martinsville Tabernacle Christian, 8 in the first half, 7 in that second half of play. Meanwhile, for West Washington, now they move to 6-2 on the year. Now on neutral courts, 1-1, and away from home now 3-1 overall. They get 3 guys in double figures. Noah Green, 17 points on the day for him. Joe, 15 of those 17 coming in that first half. He was able to get going early with 11 in that first 8 minutes of action, as we said. Hunter Sanford with 13 points on the afternoon, 10 of those 13 coming in the second half of play. And then how about this? Nick Mars comes off the bench, a career high at the varsity level for him, 10 points on the afternoon, 6 of those 10 coming in that third quarter of play. Michael Sizemore, Peyton Walker, and Jackson Byrne also start in the game. Michael finishes with 6, Peyton with 8, all in that first quarter, by the way, and Jackson Byrne with 6 points on the afternoon. Bryce Farmer, as well as Nick Mars, Camden Zink, Caden Abels, Mikey Nichols, Easton Bishop, and Dakota Smith all play, and all but Abels are able to break into the scoring column. Farmer finishes the game with 2, Mars with the career-high 10-point afternoon, Camden Zink with 7, and that will match his career high that he had earlier in the year against Eastern in that first meeting with the Musketeers. Mikey Nichols chips in 3 off of a make from downtown in the fourth quarter. Easton Bishop, 9 points for the big man, the freshman, chipping in on the offensive end and on the glass as well, and Dakota Smith with a 2-point basket made. in that fourth quarter. 7 of 10 for 70% from the free throw line after going just 2 of 3 in the first half for 67%. The Senators give it up 9 times. Now keep in mind a lot of that was with some of the young guys in. Coach Smith burned a timeout there in the third quarter to get his troops settled down a little bit, but they give it away just 9 times in the game, 4 in the first half, 5 in the second half. Scoring by quarter went like this. It was 31-5 after the first stop. Senators in firm control. They outscored the Eagles 9-7 in that second period of play to take a 50-12 advantage into the locker room. They come out, put up 20 more in the third quarter, outscoring the Eagles 20-9. But then get outscored. But again, it was way too late. The damage was done as the Eagles outscored the Senators for the first time in the game, 17-13 in that final period of play. But the Senators rolled to the 83-38 victory. We'll step aside, take a break, hear from a sponsor, and we'll come back, and Joel will give us a rundown of the shooting statistics as well as the rebounding numbers in the Senators' big win here today. You're listening to coverage of Senator basketball in the 2016 Springs Valley Holiday on your for Kentucky sports coverage. WSLM 97.9 on the FM dial, 1220 on the AM.
Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Mediview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
Back once again inside the Hawks Nest here in French Lick. Senators roll in their first game of pool play. They will be in action after this next game. Teams just taking the floor for their warm-ups. Michael Miller's Lanesville Eagles with a late arrival just taking the floor. And they still have not started the 20-second warm-up clock. They will take on the Paoli Rams and Coach Dusty Cole after their big win earlier today in 5-26, the final in that one. Senators, though, again today in the coast-to-coast, wire-to-wire finish. 3 guys in double figures, several of them with career highs, 3 of them, in fact, and those 3 are bench players that perhaps haven't got a lot of playing time, especially Easton Bishop. And, Joe, just an impressive outing. You've got the final shooting statistics and rebounding numbers for us.
Yeah, from the Senators from two-point range, they were 35 of 65 at 53%. From three-point range, they were 2 of 7 at 28%. Overall, the Senators were 37 of 72 at 51%. For the Martinsville Eagles, they were 7 of 15 for two-point range at 46%, 8 of 34 from three-point range at 23%, 15 of 49 overall at 30%. Rebounding, the Senators had 23 offensive boards, 25 defensive boards for a total of 48, while the Eagles had 3 offensive boards, 14 defensive boards for a total of 17. So on the boards, the Senators dominated like they should have. And shooting the ball, we didn't have to rely on the three-point game today. We really took it inside, worked hard. I was really proud of Noah Green. Really played an excellent game today. You know, it's 2 back-to-back that he has really come out and really put the numbers up offensively. I'm really proud of Nick Mars. Nick Mars played one heck of a game. You know, his junior year, he's been limited on some playing time because there's so much maybe in front. I don't know. But he really played well tonight. I really liked his game. Easton Bishop, the freshman, awesome game. You know, had a couple shots that he could have made underneath. This didn't quite have his feet square. But overall, I think this was Easton's breakout game, and he probably earned more minutes down the road.
Well, the Senators today, again, a good outpouring at both ends of the floor, especially efficiency at the offensive end, which was just what the doctor ordered after struggling, especially in that second half against Borden, and then really never finding a hot streak or a real groove against Eastern, doing just enough to dismantle them in that consolation game of the Washington County Holiday Tourney in their last outing. But again, the Senators move now to 6-2 on the year and a date with Springs Valley in the nightcap here tonight. It's time to name our Ace Hardware players of the game, and it's going to go to 2 players today, Joe. Noah Green, of course, we already had him on and talked to him. 17 points, game high, and team high, of course, for him. Most of that damage done, again, in the first half, 15 of the 17 in that first 16 minutes of play. He also gave it 2 assists, had a block, a big block down here on a breakaway, making up for a turnover, a lost ball. He hustled back, got the LeBron-style block, almost went off the backboard and chipped in 7 rebounds. And our other player of the game, how about this? Your main Big E, the freshman, 6'4", chips in 9 points for a career high, gives out an assist, and pulled down 3 rebounds. So an impressive outing for Easton, as Noah and Easton are co-Ace Hardware players of the day.
One thing I liked about Easton today especially was it wasn't just mop-up time.
Sure.
You know, he was in early and got to play in quality minutes of the game when it was really starting to stretch out and you seen maybe what was going to happen. But he was still in there in the times in the points of the game that are still really important and quality. You know, and he really played well. That's the best I've seen him play this year, even in a JV game. Really nice game from Easton today.
We'll step aside. We'll take a final break. Then Joe and I will come back to put a bow on this one and wrap things up from the Hawks Nest. Game 1 for the day for West Washington goes to them handily. 83-38. We'll come back with final thoughts and a quick preview of tonight's matchup with Valley. You're listening to the Senators today on Salem's 97.9 and 1220 on the AM dial.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I like to buy name brands.
Brendan stopped by from Valspar Paint last weekend. This time, I helped him pick out a new Weber grill and Craftsman pliers. Scott's, Toro, DeWalt. We have them too, along with other big names.
Ace is the place that carries all the best brands. Carries in store, not in our arms.
At Ace Hardware of Salem, you can save on the best brands like Carhartt and New Balance. Need gift ideas? Check out daily posts at facebook.com/Ace Hardware of Salem.
Back for the final time here. This first broadcast of the day. Again, Senators will be back in action after the game that's getting ready to take place. They finally started the 20-second warm-up clock, still waiting for Paoli to take the floor after their big win against Shoals earlier today. They'll try it again against Michael Miller's Lanesville Eagles, a rematch from just a few weeks ago. The Rams able to go down to Lanesville, a tough environment. Still won in the Eagles' Nest against Lanesville, so Lanesville searching for a little bit of revenge. Meanwhile, Paoli looking to go 2-0 in pool play, and if they do, Joe, that would certainly put them in tomorrow night's championship game, and then they would await to see, could it possibly be Springs Valley or us if we play like we did with the efficiency that we had earlier today. I think it can happen, but this is a much improved Springs Valley team with a first-year head coach in Michael Leitsman that had success at a struggling school annually in Medora, but he's done wonders already. They won their first 4 out of the gate. They've lost their last 3, but when you look at the competition they've played, you kind of understand why.
You know, after we seen Coach Leitsman that second time last year in the sectional, I think me and you both commented, you know, that there was probably a good chance we weren't going to see him at Medora this year, and sure enough, he ends up down here at Valley where they were looking for a good coach, and I think they got a quality coach. He really did a lot with what he had up there.
He sure
he
did.
Always had an athlete or two, but
yeah,
boy, he sure made some players. He was kind of like the coach at Orleans or the coach at Borden.
Yeah.
You know,
I
think he's going to be one of those young guys that seems to get all out of his players that he can. I think they'll buy into him. So that's not going to be no walk in the park tonight against Valley.
And you got to credit his mentor and the guy that shaped his game, Dave Benner at Brownstown, because Leitsman was a quality product for the Braves and certainly knew how to score and defend for Dave Benner's club. For a few years at the varsity level, had a lot of success, and he's carried that over. So a lot of great guys for him to have as mentors along the way, and now he returns the favor, serving as a great mentor for O'Brien, Selby, and company. So should be an interesting matchup.
Oh, yeah, you know, and success breeds success. So if you play for a good coach, you know, a quality coach that really teaches the fundamentals and teaches more about the game than just what you see on the floor. And I think a lot of those guys, you know, they do more than just stand over here on the sidelines, you know, the good ones. It's just not over here on the sidelines during the game. You know, it's all day at school. It's the whole practice. It's that whole lifestyle that they lead with their players. And when those kids buy in, you know, and I think Valley kids will buy into Leedsman, and I think he'll put out a good product for Springs Valley.
Senators have a good day, a good showing against Martinsville Tabernacle Christian. They'll try to repeat it, duplicate it against the host Blackhawks coming up after this next game between Lanesville and Paoli. Joe, let's enjoy a short break, and we'll get right back at it.
Okay, that Senator squad, they just got to remember they got to bring it this next game.
Sure.
They can't come in here and walk in and expect this team to be the same as Martinsville, because they know they're not going to be. This is going to be a step up. You know, competition's going to be a lot tougher than this nightcap.
We'll see you after the short break.
We'll see you.
As we close today's coverage of their first outing of the day, we want to give a final shout out and thank you to all of the great sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator basketball possible. Those sponsors, one more time, include our pregame show sponsor, John Jones, GM City. You see so many because they pay so little, as well as our halftime report sponsor, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem, and of course, Ace Hardware bringing you this post-game show coverage, as well as McDonald's of South Main Street in Salem, Meadowview Healthcare, and Salem Crossing, all of Salem. Without their generous support, our ability to do the job that we love each night, the Senator in action would not be possible. So be sure to let the sponsors know how much they are truly appreciated. And of course, we want to be sure to thank you for tuning in to our first broadcast of the day. We'll be back on the air somewhere around 7 o'clock, 7:15, as they're ahead of schedule here. So just keep it tuned to WSLM throughout the afternoon and evening hours here. But again, around 7 o'clock or so, we'll say loosely, go ahead and tune it in. And if you have to step away from the radio and join us for tonight's action between the Senators and the Blackhawks. Here today, the Senators get 3 players in double figures, again led by Noah Green. Meanwhile, Martinsville Tabernacle Christian with 2 guys scoring 11 apiece, but the Senators roll and dominate. 83-38 is the final. And thank you, fans, for tuning in to us on our live stream broadcast. Craig will post the video feed stream or the link for Game 2 against the Springs Valley Blackhawks tonight. We had several people tuning in today to this first broadcast, and we hope to have many more this evening. For our studio engineer and producer back at the station, Mr. Greg White, a great job as always. My sidekick, Joe Walker, and to Craig Akers, a shout out to his wife, Lindsay, and girls who are listening. He wanted me to make sure I got that shout out, so I took care of my job. Now he can buy lunch. This is Misty Jones saying so long from the Hawks Nest in French Lick. Join us again around 7 o'clock for pregame coverage. Senators back in action in this 2016 holiday tourney presented by the host Springs Valley Blackhawks. Until then, this has been a WSLM Sports Zone presentation of Senator basketball on Salem's 1220 and 97.9, and we'll see you in just moments from now. Goodbye, everybody.